Hi, I'm Alan.
He's Alan and I'm Matt.
And this is Ed Patient Zero. We're going to continue where we left off last week. I really just don't know how that group dynamic can work, but at the same time, I don't know how we as a civilization, we as a species, can survive such a cataclysmic event without the group dynamic. It's going to have to come to a point of stabilization, but I think what we need to discuss at this point is what's it going to take? What will it take for us to go from nomadic groups of survivors to a civilization again? When can we pick back up?
I think a lot of the keys necessary to reassimilate a society are the same basic keys that make us human to begin with. Humility, compassion, those things. There are going to have to be some people who aren't good enough to be the leader but think they are, become humble enough to realize that they're not. And there's going to have to be people who don't think they are the leader that really can be, that need to step up
and take over.
I mean, that's just, and see, the bad thing, there's so many great lines out of so many great movies, but it's in our nature to destroy ourselves. Always stands out, because it is. It is. We war and we war and we war and we fight and we fight and we fight. And it's going to be real hard. When a zombie apocalypse happens and humanity is struck a mortally wounding blow, it's going to be very hard to ascertain, society like it is now.
I love that you just used the Terminator 2 quote. Brings to mind another situation that there are plenty of theorists out there worried about.
We could do a whole nother show on this. I don't even want to.
Well, let's just bring it up momentarily, because I'd like to explore a dynamic there, if you don't mind. The machine apocalypse. We're building technology, new technology, artificial intelligences, robotics, at an alarming rate. And this goes hand in hand with zombies. There is even a full classification of a type of zombies. Cybernetic zombies, technological zombies.
They have
nanotechnology.
Yes, they have cybernetic nano bots out right now.
Relax. It's one company that made one type of technically classifiable nanobot. Relax. Give it some time and then be scared.
Okay.
Then be scared.
Well, the beginning usually leads to the end, is all I'm saying.
Here's how it goes. When the Onion parodies it, then be afraid. Okay? Because it's everywhere then. Okay. Props to the Onion.
I like onions.
I like the Onion. It's the best news source out there. They're at least honest. Anyway. Let's explore the dynamic of the survivors in the Terminator series. Okay, let's take a break for a second. What?
I don't think there are no survivors in the Terminator series. Okay. I think that the movie, there's survivors in the Terminator series, but I think in a Terminator, the machines are too...
Okay, well, let's back up. In the Terminator series, obviously they end up in the machine war. But up to the point where they develop this time travel technology and the humans break in and use it to go back in time as well, do we know if there are survivors beyond that? And how is it worse? How is it better than zombies? Because if you look at that, what was it, Terminator Salvation? Look where Kyle Reese and Star, the little girl, they're the only people left in L.A. as far as they know. And they're hanging out on the rooftop living. It's exactly the same scene you see survivors living in Resident Evil, or, in other zombie scenarios when you find groups of survivors. It's exactly the same situation. They've got guns, they've got traps built.
I think it's worse.
Now, why do you think it's worse?
Because I can shoot a zombie in the brain. I can shoot a zombie in the brain, and based on theory and data, it stops.
You can shoot a robot in the CPU, and it also stops. And all you need to know is where is that CPU? Is it armored? If it is armored, what do you have that compares?
It's armored, and they probably move it on
Every new model has a different
location, man. You know, the machines are smart enough to pick up on the fact, okay, they're shooting us in the CPU.
Yeah, they're smart, but they're machines. They're not creative. That's one of the things that is the hold-up on artificial intelligence. They're not
creative, but in that particular series, Skynet's creative.
Well, that's because Skynet is the internet.
Exactly.
Skynet is Google. Don't tell Google I said that.
We love you, Google.
Okay.
They own YouTube. They own.
I know that was the joke. That was
they own Google no more.
Okay. Anyway, that's the situation.
I mean, that's a whole nother ballgame. I don't even have a survivalist technique. That's the one thing I would give up.
So you're terrified of the zombie apocalypse, but you're more scared of the robot apocalypse?
Yes.
All right. I think we're going to wrap up there. So I guess we'll see you guys next week. Maybe we'll bring up some more about the CDC then.
We can bring up some more about the CDC. I still think the group dynamic has some good coverage in it.
Okay. Well, I've been Alan.
I'm always Matt.
This has been Said Patient Zero. See you next week.